We're digging deep tonight in A 6 Investigates on the Housing Authority, plus progress on the Bob Hall Pier and when you can expect it to open.
I am the juice, Beetlejuice.
And we're taking a trip to the netherworld in a new production of Beetlejuice Jr. The Chris 6 News at 5 starts right now. Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. We are just weeks away from the first day of school for the Corpus Christi Independent School District. And right now, there are discussions of a potential cell phone ban in the classroom. Starting September 1st, House Bill 1481 will ban K through 12th grade students from using cell phones, text messaging devices, laptops, and tablets during school hours. The new legislation gives school officials two options: either ban cell phones from school entirely or designate areas where students must store their devices during school hours. Districts must use consequences for students caught with phones during prohibited times. Neighborhood News reporter Victoria Valderrama is at that meeting right now and will have an update for us later on at Chris 6 News. Well, tonight at 6, a Chris 6 investigation into the Corpus Christi Housing Authority. Our newest team member, Leah Zora, gives us a sneak peek at what she discovered.
While the public housing CEO brings home nearly $800,000 a year in salary and bonus,
no one in this community is worth $750,000 a year, especially a public servant.
Many of his tenants live in harsh conditions.
It starts off with, the roach infestation.
There is black mold in my bedroom, there's black mold in one of my closets, and it's not safe.
We hear them in the walls, we hear them in the ceiling. My neighbor here has caught so many rats in her house. That's something that they need to get on top of.
Since I moved in, they keep saying they're going to fix it. And even the people around her, they get on the second elevator, they said they stopped counting already. I'm really tired.
Broken elevators, rodents, and mold are the reality.
Your real estate transactions sold your tax exemptions and harmed all of your local tax entities in a manner greatly disproportionate to any public benefit received.
Again, that is tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll show you how one grandmother is fighting for change from her hospice bed. Don't miss it. A highly anticipated project is more than halfway done. That's right. We're talking about the Bob Hall Pier. Nueces County Commissioner Brent Chesney told Neighborhood News reporter Aaron Holly that the pier is about 60% done with its construction. Neighbors around the island say they're looking forward to enjoying the new pier.
I like it. I miss the old Bob Hall, so it'll be nice to have this one to take its place. Yeah, the tourists will have more to do when they come out here. And summertime, this beach is so crowded, so that's something for them to walk up and go do.
Well, Commissioner Chesney says he expects the pier to be completed by the end of the year and the restaurant space to be completed sometime in 2026. Now, it's been 5 years since Hurricane Hannah damaged the pier enough to close the pier down. Let's bring in Stephanie Lauber. She's going to go ahead and compare Hurricane Hannah and Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah, this is a common question a lot of folks have for me is why didn't Harvey ruin the pier, but Hannah did a couple years later? So there's actually a difference, and this is why we tell you that every storm is unique. Obviously, Harvey, a much stronger storm, a Category 4, but let's compare the two. Have a look. This is the difference between the two of them. We had Harvey, which struck in 2017, much closer to Corpus Christi, but farther to the north. Hannah, 70 miles to our south in 2020, a weaker Category 1 storm. But the direction of the storm also matters because when Harvey came through, the winds around the storm, remember, they flow counterclockwise, so they were pushing out of the bay. That's why Cole Park Pier was destroyed with Harvey. And when Hannah came through, the difference is all of that storm surge and wind, also the strongest part of the storm, the northeast quadrant, was pushed right into our coast, and that was just catastrophic for Bob Hall Pier. Now, we've had a good deal of storms that were a bit stronger during the end of July, so coming up, we'll give you a look at the tropic and see what may be coming down the pipeline ahead.
All right, Steph, thank you. And today, the Trump administration is holding talks with two countries ahead of trade deadlines early next month. President Donald Trump is meeting with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer in Scotland. The White House says they'll refine a trade deal outline they signed last month. Now, European countries are considering whether to approve a framework. Trump and the EU Commission president unveiled yesterday. Now, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is in Sweden for trade talks with Chinese officials today, and the U.S. and China have an outline for an agreement and a goal of finalizing a deal by August 12th.
Alrighty then, folks, it is Monday, and for some that might mean it's time to fill up the tank, but where, oh where, can we find those cheaper prices? Well, hey, right here is where you can find those cheaper prices. I'm taking a look at them all across the coastal bend as well as nationally. Let's start off there, shall we? $3.11 according to Gas Buddy's, a national average. That is actually down by about 4 cents since Friday. As for Lone Star State, we're sitting at $2.73. That one is down by 6 cents since Friday. We can always do better here in the coastal bend, though, folks, can't we? Taking a look at Corpus Christi prices, third place goes to the HEB on Castores, $2.67. Second place is actually going to be the Murphy Express on Flower Bluff, right next to that Walmart. And then the top spot is the Valero on McCardle and Ricky at $2.59. For our Portland friends, cheapest prices at two different locations, actually. It's over at the Murphy USA, right next to that Walmart, as well as the Taxon, both sitting at $2.62. What about our island friends? Well, if you're looking for the cheapest price, you're going to want to go to the Valero on 361 and Piper Boulevard. You're going to pay $2.72 there. As always, if you could ever find any cheaper prices than the ones I've mentioned, might be worth stopping and filling up while you can.
Now, a big part of our neighborhood news model is to report on what matters to you the most. And our Southside and Flower Bluff reporter Tony Jaramillo held a listening session today to hear feedback from neighbors.
We ought to have more being reported on our perspective on this.
Tony was at the Janet F. Hart Library on Waldron Road, where viewers pitched potential future story ideas. From construction concerns to school improvements, neighbors had plenty of suggestions.
And on the front end of the street, there are no curbs and sidewalks, only on the back end of the street. And I've been asking about that for years.
Now, we plan to have more listening tours like this one for other Coastal Bend neighbors. We'll be sure to keep you updated when those are coming up. Now, if you're interested in a free healthcare services, but you don't want to spend a free pretty penny, we have something for you. The Texas Energy Advocates Coalition will host its second Energy Fair Health Clinic from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Wednesday, July 30th. The one-day community clinic will offer wellness screenings and health consultations at no cost to families and individuals. Now, some of the services include blood pressure, blood sugar, and cholesterol screenings, as well as vision exams, vaccines, men and women's health screenings. That address is 2000 Billy G. Webb Drive in Portland.
Some talented performers in Port Aransas are taking a trip to the netherworld. I'm Erin Holly in Port Aransas with your preview of Beetlejuice Jr.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Ghosts, ghouls, and a great show. I'm Erin Holly, your Port Aransas neighborhood news reporter, and Beetlejuice Jr. is ready to take the stage right here at the Port Aransas Community Theater.
I am the juice, Beetlejuice.
14-year-old Audrielle Jimenez is the leader of the pack at PACT, also known as the Port Aransas Community Theater.
Well, I'm not a cameo character anymore. This is my first lead, and I get to be the big man, the title character.
Beetlejuice follows the storyline of Lydia Dietz, a teenager who's obsessed with death and gets haunted by the demon Beetlejuice.
It's really great. It's a good show. Everybody's put so much work into this.
One of those dedicated people is assistant director Braden Jake. He's a senior at Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Turn to the left, 2, 3, 4. This production, we have a lot of pop culture references in this show, and I think the kids latch onto that, and it just makes it even more funny.
Now we know you're woke, but you can take a joke. Young actors from all over the Coastal Bend come to the Port Aransas Community Theater to be a part of productions like Beetlejuice Jr.
This is my first show at Port A. Very welcoming, very kind. That's just kind of what theater is. This cast is just completely welcoming with open arms.
And they tell me the Beetlejuice cast is like one big family.
We all treat each other like family, and it's so awesome. Everybody loves each other, and it feels more like a home.
I work out, I eat clean.
someone pass the Dramamine. That's why this Beetlejuice family wants you to come see their production.
I'm just looking to make this the best show as we can and make it better and improve every day. Add a little extra, maybe improvise a little, make the people laugh.
That beautiful sound.
Beetlejuice Jr. at the Port Aransas Community Theater runs through August 3rd. In Port Aransas, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Erin Holly, Chris 6 News.
All right, time for a look at the roadways now. SPID, of course, the busy time is right about now. Folks trying to head home and head around town, and there are a lot of people out on the roadways, but we're still moving. That's the good thing. But there are a few slow spots to be aware of. Once again, down 37, right where the crosstown intersection is. Folks trying to figure out what lane they need to be in to get to where they need to go. Still getting used to some of those changes. Where the crosstown and SPID interchange is, not too bad. A little stop and go here and there. Saratoga, a little stop and go near Staples Street as expected, but not doing too bad. Once you take Staples down across SPID, that's really the worst of it. Not too bad for this time of the afternoon. And if you're heading out around the island of the Bluff, we're looking okay. So on the way back, we'll be talking about your forecast right after this break. All right, it's been a pretty hot day here across the coastal bend. We know that, but over the past 10 hours, we have really been feeling the impact of high pressure overhead. So that helps to keep the heat in, but it also traps the humidity. And while I'm showing you the hottest temperature here over the past 10 hours, 94 degrees, no, these are the hourly readings. Inter-hour readings really tell you that we've been spending more time around 95, 96 today, and that daily climatology should be out any minute now, so I wouldn't be surprised if we got to about 97 degrees today. If not, we're going to be able to do that for the rest of the week because it sure is going to be a hot one here in South Texas, hotter than we were last week. So buckle your seatbelt. We are still in the dog days of summer. Lots of sunshine out there and a little bit of a breeze from the southeast, so let's take a look at what's going on in your neighborhood with the Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network. Starting things off up in the Beeville neighborhood. Our neighborhood weather station showing 93 off Hilltop Road now, 93 from our neighborhood station, labeled Beeville, and 96 off FM 504. We take things a bit south into the Kingsville neighborhood. Check this out. 93 off Bishop Badger Meadowbrook, 92 from Southwest Kingsville, and East County Road 2120 also showing 92 degrees. But it has been a hot one, and the humidity really taking that temperature to another level. Take a look at the numbers in yellow that you see here on the map. We've got quite the difference, especially along the coast where that water, that's where all the humidity comes from. So 90 in the Bluff feels like 103, 89 degrees in Port Aransas feels way hotter, almost 20 degrees hotter, coming in at 102, 91 in Rockport feeling like 103, in contrast to the inland neighborhoods where we're in the triple digits but feeling more true to temperature, less influence from the humidity because as the wind carries it to you, it just fizzles out. We have some hot air in Freer, 100 degrees, feeling like it, 101 in George West, feeling like 104. So be ready. This is a trend for the rest of the week. Let's talk about why that feels like temperature is so important, because when we have a relatively dry day, not a lot of humidity, what do we do when it's hot? It's kind of gross, but it's how our body cools off. We sweat a little bit, and when that evaporates into the atmosphere, there's an energy exchange. It's called latent heat. That's what cools your body down. You give the atmosphere some moisture, it cools off your skin. When we have a lot of humidity, there's a change. The atmosphere says, no thanks, I've got lots of moisture, I don't need any of yours. So you don't have that exchange of energy on your skin. Your body does not cool down as easily. So when it's 85 degrees outside, it could easily feel way hotter because you're missing that escape from the heat. So a couple of ways to beat the heat. Well, of course, cooling off inside, staying hydrated, checking in on pups, maybe heading coastal, getting that cool breeze off the water might help. But make sure that you're spending time outside of the heat and giving your body a chance to cool down, because over the next couple of days, we are really going to be feeling the heat. And once we have repetitive days of heat, like we expect over the next couple of days, even during the overnight, still feeling like the middle 80s, it's hard for your body to kind of recover from that. So make sure you're checking in on kids, pets, the elderly, and yourself over the next couple of days. The heat is a problem, but some good news, nothing developing in the tropics. So what to expect over the next 7 days besides heat? I'll fill you in. Your 7-day forecast in just a few.
All right, thank you. And pretty sure we don't have to remind you, it's the first day of the traditional work week, also known as Monday. And if you're feeling less than excited about the end of the weekend, Mandy Gaither has simple ways to help you beat the Monday blues in today's Health Minute.
Goodbye, weekend. Hello, work week. It's time to get back to the grind. But if this day has you feeling blue, you're not alone. A 2020 study suggests job satisfaction dips and workplace stress rises at the beginning of the week compared to the end.
Here's an idea. Give yourself a few things to look forward to during the week. Things that might make you happier and feel more fulfilled.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says if you're longing for the weekend, booking activities during the week can help ease the Monday blues. That could include playing a sport, doing trivia, or joining a book club.
If the activity includes other people, you're going to be more likely to follow through and make it a habit.
Gupta says to also consider challenging yourself to try something new, like learning a language.
Adding commitments to your week may be hard at first, but additional goal-focused activity can actually give you more energy.
Finally, Gupta says to help yourself get through the work week by adding positive interactions throughout the day.
Doesn't have to be much. Maybe just paying someone a compliment. These chats can cause small bursts of positive emotions, something I think we can all use.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Middle schoolers in Corpus Christi are diving into the world of STEM this summer. How this camp is helping build skills, confidence, and maybe even future careers.
In Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
A group of West Oso students are spending part of their summer at Del Mar College's Tech Camp. Neighborhood News reporter Jada Jenkins shows us how these students are learning beyond the classroom.
The Coded Camp at Del Mar College gives middle school students a chance to explore robotics, coding, and even NASA-level data.
It's more of a confidence and I can do it. The drive and the ganas are there.
This final parent presentation gave families a chance to see that drive up close.
And that's probably the highlight of everything, is having the parents come in and see everything that they've connected and learned.
One of those students was 13-year-old Brady Pendarvis from West Oso Junior High.
I always wanted to learn about coding, but it was just too hard for me, like without the resources. So I'm glad to be here. Is it moving? Stop. Back. Some of it was difficult at first, but I became more comfortable the further I got into it.
Brady's mom, Anna, says programs like this make a difference in her son's skills and confidence.
I couldn't talk to him for a while until he was ready to talk, because he was just thinking about all the fun he had and then going to his computer and working on his projects.
She says after losing his father at a young age, seeing Brady find joy in something constructive is powerful.
Exceeding in the things that he enjoys to do, it's such a blessing. Just all the trials we've gone through as a family in general.
And the impact reaches beyond just one family. Programs like this show what's possible for students given the right tools and support.
Well, the camp may be over, but for these and many of those students, it's just the beginning of their journey in STEM. Congrats to them. And the creepy crawlers are taking over. How soon tarantulas could be on their way to your neighborhood, and what to do if you spot one, next.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Welcome back. A tarantula invasion will soon be happening in the Southwest and West. Now, this fall, tens of thousands of young adult male tarantulas will crawl out of their hiding spots in California, Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, and guess what? Here in Texas, in search of a mate. The arachnids are typically out from late evening to early dawn, and one environmental scientist says if you're lucky enough, you might see hordes of these hairy baseball spiders crossing the road. Yucky. If you do spot a tarantula, leave it alone. Experts say they are generally docile, but they can bite. And guess what? Jump up to 2 feet. Plus, they plan an important part of our ecosystem. And I know, Stephanie, you've been closing your eyes over here because these are some creepy crawlers. Very, very creepy crawlers.
I'm not even going to look at the camera because I know someone wants to throw that story back up when I'm looking at it, but I will tell you The word for a fear of spiders is arachnophobia.
Oh, okay, yes.
I don't know what fear of heat is, but I hope you don't have it because we got lots of that this week for our neighbors in Rockport. Temps in the low 90s, but you're going to be feeling much hotter than that. Kingsville, you already know the story. You're going to be near the triple digits, definitely feeling like it. And over the next 7 days here in Corpus Christi, we are looking at our fair share of upper 90s too. So, feels like temperatures are going to be much higher than that.
All righty, everybody. Well, we will see you here at 6 o'clock. Have a good one.
Bye.